Alan Dershowitz, Harvard law professor. Good to see you, Professor Dershowitz, and good to have you on a night like tonight. The concern
Good.
here...
Happy New Year to everybody. I hope next year is a better year than the past one for everybody.
Well, Happy New Year to you, too. The big
Thank
concern
you.
here is that there may be people within the FBI that are slowing down this process. Chairman Nunes wants a lot of answers. He has a lot of questions about that largely discredited dossier, the Trump dossier, if you would, that may have actually been in part fed to us by the Russians themselves. Do you think these questions should be raised? And do you worry that politics is playing too big a role there at the FBI?
I do. I also worry that politics is playing too big a role in the Intelligence Committee. That's why from day one, I called for an independent, nonpartisan, 9/11 type commission of distinguished Americans who are above party politics to look into every aspect of Russia's attempt to influence our elections and other elections. That way we would have had transparency. We would have had the information coming out. Right now, the investigation by special counsel is behind closed doors. We don't know what's happening. They decide what to leak, what not to leak. It's the worst possible way of getting information and trying to cure a problem that affects both Democrats and Republicans and all Americans.
Yeah, no, it's well put and well said. In other words, it does affect all of us. We don't want Russia intervening in our elections. And, you know, as we gather some of this information, occasionally it sort of looks like they may have done more on the Clinton side. I mean, given that her team was originally commissioning this dossier. But that aside, I guess, you know, Robert Mueller, many are calling for him to step down. You know, Chairman Nunes is concerned about the politics at play, as are you on both sides. Do you think his credibility, Robert Mueller's credibility of him and his team, has been compromised?
I do. I think it has been. I think he has not conducted the kind of investigation I expected from him because I knew him and he had an excellent reputation. He should have been more careful about staffing. You have to make sure that everybody who is investigating a president or a former presidential candidate is above reproach as Caesar's wife. You should have asked them about any tweets or messages that they sent. Several of those people should never have been in on the investigation. I think we have real problems of credibility, but those are all going to help Donald Trump because the pressure is now on Mueller to show the world that he can be fair. And the way that he can show that he'll be fair is to lean over backwards and make sure he doesn't go after President Trump on phony obstruction of justice charges or emoluments charges. What he should be looking for is any hard evidence of real crime outside of presidential authority. I don't think he's going to find it, but that's what he should be looking for, because otherwise I think his credibility is damaged. Look, it's the hardest job in the world to investigate a sitting president or a candidate for president, and you just have to do it without making any mistakes. He's made too many mistakes.
Well, I'll tell you, you've been telling me from the very beginning here how concerned you were just that once you have the special prosecutor involved, they keep digging and digging, and that's their job, to dig and dig and dig, and they want to find something, anything, right? Because otherwise they feel as though they haven't accomplished what they set out to do.
And the American public says, why did we give you so much money for you to come back and say you found nothing? Look, they're going to find some low-hanging fruit. They already indicted, 3 people. I don't think the Flynn indictment is going to get them very far because Flynn was offering himself to rent or to buy. He was basically saying through his lawyer, look, if the president wants me on his side, he should pardon me. If the president doesn't pardon me, then I'll go on the other side and be a witness for Mueller. But he's already admitted that he lied to the FBI, and I think his credibility as a witness and the vice president, but that's not a crime, but it is a crime to lie to the FBI, and his credibility has been destroyed, and any good defense attorney could rip him apart on the stand. He also saved his son from being prosecuted, and so I don't think he's of very great value as a witness. He might be able to give them leads or tell them who else to see or provide them documents, but as a witness on the stand, he's virtually worthless.
So how do you sum this up right now? I mean, given that so far We don't have anything. So far, they haven't come up with anything that it certainly hasn't gotten leaked anyway. Out there, do they need to wrap it up soon for the good of the country?
So. I would hope so. I hope they've decided, and it would be very smart if they did, not to look into obstruction of justice, not to look into emoluments, not to look into anything that's a function of the president doing his job, even if you disagree with the way he's done it, and to just look to see if there are any real crimes. Now, collusion, although the president denies there's any collusion, even if they prove collusion, that's not a crime. Collusion is not criminally punishable, except if it's in a business context in violation of the antitrust laws. So at the moment, it doesn't seem like they have very much at all, except, a few indictments against a few people for the political equivalent of jaywalking. Okay. That is failing to sign documents in the proper way, failing to disclose this or that.
Well, then if that's the case, then they're doing nothing but wasting a lot of our resources right now. Anyway,
I think that's right.
It is wonderful to see you tonight, and I hope you're getting a few more dinner invites, or maybe you can make some friends with the conservatives there in town.
Well, no, the liberals make better dinner parties, so I'm losing 7 or 8 pounds now, which is making my wife very, very happy. But
there's an upside to everything,
I say
right?
what I say on principle. I've been saying the same thing for 50 years, no matter who's the president. My real friends stand by me. My political opportunist friends condemn me, but I'm going to continue saying what I believe.
Well, Alan Dershowitz, we thank you for doing that.